Look at any major city in Europe, Australia, or South America right now. You'll see a new king taking over the roads. BYD, sleek, affordable, futuristic. Investors call it the next Toyota. Analysts praise its growth. Business schools study its strategy. And millions of consumers see it as proof that the future of transportation has arrived. But travel thousands of miles away to the outskirts of China, and you'll find a very different picture. Fields packed with brand new vehicles, rows upon rows of untouched cars, some still wrapped in factory plastic, thousands of vehicles that appear to have no owners, and that's where this story begins. Because the biggest success story in the global auto industry may not be exactly what it seems. This is the story of phantom sales, hidden debt, government support, and a company that critics believe has mastered the art of appearing unstoppable. To understand how BYD became a global giant, you first need to understand the man behind it, Wang Chuanfu, a chemist from rural China who started a battery company and transformed it into one of the largest electric vehicle manufacturers in the world. The media loved the story. Warren Buffett invested. Harvard praised the business model. Financial analysts described the company as a once-in-a-generation opportunity. By 2022, BYD had overtaken Tesla in total new energy vehicle sales. The underdog had won, or at least that's what the world believed. Because behind the celebration, a question was quietly emerging. How is BYD able to sell electric cars so cheaply? In early 2025, the company reduced the starting price of its Seagull EV to around 55,800 yuan, roughly $8,000. Think about that. A fully electric vehicle with a battery, software, touchscreen, warranty, and modern technology for a price many competitors can't even manufacture a car for. The official explanation is simple: vertical integration. BYD builds its own batteries and controls much of its supply chain, and yes, that gives the company a huge advantage. But some analysts argue it still doesn't explain the numbers. Not when competitors across Europe and America struggle to build similar vehicles profitably at several times the price. And that's when the next question appears. If consumers aren't paying the full cost, who is? The answer may be the Chinese government. Over the years, BYD has received billions of dollars in subsidies, tax incentives, discounted land, and policy support designed to accelerate the country's electric vehicle industry. Supporters say these programs help create one of the most advanced manufacturing sectors in the world. Critics say they created an uneven playing field that competitors simply cannot match. Either way, government support became a major part of BYD's rise, and according to some analysts, it became part of something much bigger, an illusion of unstoppable growth. Then came the balance sheet. In 2025, GMT Research released a report that sent shockwaves through financial circles. The firm argued that BYD's real debt exposure may be dramatically larger than investors realize. According to the report, the company relies heavily on delayed supplier payments and supply chain financing. In simple terms, BYD often takes months to pay suppliers, much longer than many global competitors. Critics argue this allows the company to effectively use its suppliers as a source of financing. Supporters argue it's simply an aggressive but common business practice, but the numbers were large enough to raise concerns, especially because investors had heard a similar story before. Evergrande, China's property giant that appeared unstoppable until it collapsed under the weight of enormous debt. No, BYD is not Evergrande, but for some analysts, the similarities were impossible to ignore. Rapid growth, complex financing, heavy dependence on confidence, and a business model that requires the machine to keep moving forward. Then another controversy emerged. Investigations revealed that some Chinese automakers had been registering vehicles as sold before reaching genuine consumers. The practice allowed sales numbers to rise while inventory quietly accumulated elsewhere. At the same time, drone footage began circulating online. Massive parking lots, thousands of vehicles, rows stretching as far as the eye could see. Supporters argued these were normal storage facilities. Critics saw evidence of overproduction, a warning sign hidden in plain sight. The truth remains heavily debated, but the images became impossible to ignore. Then the story moved beyond economics. In late 2024, Brazilian labor authorities launched an investigation connected to workers involved in the construction of a BYD factory project. Inspectors reported serious labor violations and conditions they considered unacceptable. The findings generated international headlines and raised difficult questions about the human cost of rapid expansion. BYD pointed to subcontractors, authorities pointed back to the company, and the controversy quickly became global news. But there was another problem: quality control. BYD has spent years promoting its blade battery technology as one of the safest battery systems in the world. It's one of the company's biggest selling points. Yet multiple recalls involving electrical components, battery systems, and fire-related risks have attracted increasing attention. To be fair, recalls happen throughout the automotive industry. Every major manufacturer experiences them. But when your reputation is built on battery expertise, battery-related issues receive far greater scrutiny because they strike directly at the heart of the brand. And all of this is happening while China's electric vehicle industry faces a crisis of its own success. More than 100 EV brands are fighting for market share. Prices continue falling, profit margins continue shrinking. And industry experts predict that most of today's manufacturers won't survive the decade. Some estimates suggest that only a handful of China's current EV brands will still exist by 2030. Even Chinese officials have expressed concerns about overcapacity and destructive price wars. The competition has become brutal, and nobody knows who will survive. Which brings us to the bigger question. Maybe BYD truly is the future of the automotive industry. Maybe its manufacturing strategy, technology, and scale will allow it to dominate the global market for decades. That's entirely possible. But critics argue that another possibility exists, that the company's success relies on a combination of subsidies, financing structures, aggressive pricing, and market conditions that may not be sustainable forever. And if those conditions change, the consequences could be enormous. Because this story isn't really about cars, it's about power, it's about how governments shape industries, it's about whether markets are truly competitive, and it's about how easily investors can mistake growth for strength. Western governments have already begun responding. The European Union imposed major tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles. The United States went even further, not because they believe BYD is weak, but because they believe it is strong enough to reshape entire industries. The same strategy that transformed solar panels, steel, and shipbuilding is now transforming automobiles, and the rest of the world is scrambling to respond. So, what is BYD? A revolutionary company changing transportation forever, or a corporate giant built on foundations that are weaker than they appear? Nobody knows for certain. But one thing is clear: the story is far more complicated than the headlines suggest. Behind the record sales, the soaring stock price, and the global expansion lies a growing list of questions. Questions about debt, questions about subsidies, questions about demand, questions about sustainability. And until those questions are answered, the world's most celebrated electric vehicle company will continue to live between two competing narratives: a miracle or a warning. And the difference between those two outcomes may determine the future of the entire auto industry.